and I ended up with 3,000 plus.
3,000 plus horsepower.
Yeah, and this thing is ballistic. And it's, maybe add a bottle of nitrous, like, yeah, it seems like a good idea.
3,000 is not enough.
I know.
Well, just at the top end, you wanted that little freight train pull. It didn't really work. The MA bolts that hold the intake cover on just bang blew out the back window. And launched.
You got to see the video. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Modified with TrickFactory Customs. If this is your first time watching, my name is Elvis.
Tim?
Jatty.
Rob.
Yes, and if you guys are regular listeners or watchers of this podcast, we talk about cars, but if you do not know, Jatty is a guest. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're going to be talking about high horsepower, 3,000 horsepower cars, and driving them because he does that for fun. We're going to be talking about, racing. Looks like on the internet, people talk about 1,000 horsepower Hondas like it's everyday.
Everybody's
We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to be talking about the jump between 1,000 horsepower and 3,000 horsepower. You own some businesses, but one of them is a speed shop where you guys build cars.
Yeah, local tuning shop.
It's called Racing Greed, if you guys are interested. And you do also a lot of things, half-mile racing.
Half-mile racing, touch on drag racing a bit.
As we all know, cars are fun, but I feel like you do it for the most part for fun. Like that's
completely fun. Yeah. There's no monetary value to it. That's in the negative.
Yeah, I know. So it should be a very fun episode. And so with that said, we're just gonna dive right in. So this week, how's this week been? What's been going on in the shop?
Same old. It actually hasn't been that fun this week because it's all boring stuff. Step van.
That's not true. We're doing a Testarossa. You're saying it's not that fun. Come on, man.
I guess, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And what else? Testarossa.
RSR, another little 911 coupe.
Yeah, another 911 coupe came in.
DB4 is going home.
Yeah, and you're saying it's boring. It's pretty interesting.
Getting jaded over there.
Yeah, I think you're jaded, man.
Yeah.
You need something
Just take a moment, step back, just look, observe. There's lots of really cool cars in the shop right now. Tim just touched on a few of them.
We were complaining about it because we only get the hard stuff. But this is exactly what we wanted, and now we have it, and it's like, I want to do the easy stuff for it.
Yeah. No, when you dedicate your life to getting to be the best, you get the hard challenges.
Yeah.
So, what is the easy stuff to you, though?
Yeah, what is the easy stuff?
I don't even know. Body kits? No.
Like one that fits properly? Or
like well-fitting body kits.
That's a huge win.
Wheels and tires.
That's like a unicorn.
Exhaust systems. Like when you can do a kit, wheels, and exhaust in like 2 days and people could just get their minds blown, that stuff's nice.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is here for months.
Yeah, because it's a full build for the most part. But what's been happening on your end?
Life. Just finished the 997-1 twin turbo, tuning it, ECU.
That's
cool. And I know you guys are Porsche guys, so
we got it.
Yeah, big fan.
I need to see this car. Unfortunately, everybody else has got to see it, so I've only got to hear about it.
Yeah, it should be out shortly. The only issue that I've had is prior to this body kit and everything that I've done to it, it was on the last life of one of the the brake calipers. So ordering a rebuild kit for a Brembro freaking carbon ceramic rotor wasn't the easiest, and when I got that car I was using it for track, just lapping the crap out of it, and I cooked the brakes over and over, and carbon ceramics just get chewed. They're really expensive to replace. Even to replace those back now that I'm not racing it is just not feasible. It doesn't make sense.
And
I got rid of them. I was like, oh yeah, here's 10 grand.
Yeah, you hear that.
You hear it a lot, even with brand new car, like brand new GT3s, guys put steel rotors on it right away.
It's the maintenance on it makes it, because you're already spending a ton on tires.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now I'm doing tires, pads, and rotors. Yeah, we're just on the last little bit of tuning it for street, but we can't because it doesn't have the proper braking. So the dyno will work, but we want to put some street test tuning on it too.
And I suppose with what little I know of your history and what I've seen and heard, this engine is probably far from standard. it's I would assume is probably massaged pretty
No,
heavily.
Not at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's the Mesker engine, so I just left
Oh,
it. Yeah, I haven't touched it. Keeping it. That's why I went with the standalone.
Yeah.
Originally, I was running on HKS EVC 5 or 6. Crank up the boost, throw in some race gas, and just send it. I was pumping that motor up to like 25 psi on the half mile stuff. I've considered finding another Mesker and not rebuilding it, but building it. A lot of people that have these Mesker motors, they end up just doing like a rod and head stud package. It's kind of the standard to it, just to hold it, to make sure it doesn't blow. And they can go over 600 wheel torque, but it's not a car that I want to mess with anymore. And I just want a car that I can enjoy in the street.
yeah.
Racing's fun.
Yeah.
But like I said at the beginning, there's no real monetary value to it. It's a lot of adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just having fun and getting out, seeing your friends.
So you talked about racing. So let's dive into that a little bit. So first of all, like, how did you even get into cars? Because I just think like you're like, from what I see at least, it's like you do some pretty serious stuff.
Oh yeah, I jumped right in. So how did I get into cars? Like, of course, probably everyone here, Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a kid. My first car was a Honda Civic that I thought was the fastest car ever. And recently came across that actual vehicle in the last 3 years or 4 years.
Oh, it's still on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Did
parked
add
on the
it back
street.
to the collection?
Oh, so I found it on Craigslist.
Oh.
And I messaged the guy. He wanted $500 for it, but he never replied.
Wow.
And the only reason I know it was mine is because if you remember with the old EF Civics, they had say if it was a Civic Si, it was the taillights, and then it had that red center part.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't a CX, or sorry, an Si for a CX or DX, it was black.
Okay.
I painted mine, but I also had nicked it,
Oh, okay.
where it was still there, and I was like,
Wow.
holy crap, that's it. And I was going to leave a note. Ironically, I was picking up a friend on our way to the airport to go to a race in the States. And yeah, it just came up on Craigslist during COVID, and I was like, emailed the person, didn't hear back, looked at the listing like a week later, and it was gone, and I was like, crap. So I've randomly, like, I'll admit it, I go on Facebook Marketplace to look for this car.
Nice.
Like 1990 Civic,
Yeah.
just see if it comes up.
It's so crazy. Like, you look at the Civics and stuff nowadays, like those generations, and you think to yourself, man, I really want that again, because you remember what it represented to you in the time. And like, if you think back to like those at that current time, what it cost to actually modify it to hit the aftermarket for it, shit was pretty expensive back in the day, right? Now
Seemed
you grab one of
expensive.
those and you could basically build it fucking all in for like fucking nickels on the dollar compared
Yeah,
to like
exactly.
some of the other toys that you play with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Ratio and proportion now, like you could just max it right out for like 20K.
Yeah.
The dream. The
Yeah,
exact
like the
dream.
dream that
This
you
is
had.
what I
All
want.
the bill and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Just everything.
Yeah.
I remember looking then, it's like $299. Oh shit! Now that seems cheap. Like it almost seems free.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else, like
Yeah. So with that, I mean, you can't help but just have like a little piece. You just go like, "Ooh, yeah, that'd be kind of nice."
yeah, we've talked about it many times. Buying like a Civic and doing like the Gran Turismo Civic, and just like maxing it right out. But you're like, man, I'm never gonna drive that
Yeah,
thing. Like,
Exactly. And that's one of the things that even if that guy replied at that time for that $500, I would have been like, where am I going to put it? What am I going to do
Yeah.
with it?
I got 9 other cars I need to finish.
Now I'm
This is the
committed.
last thing I need to do. Like,
I mean, that's the other side of it too. It's like at this point in life, you're like, man, where am I even going to put it? Do I have space for another car?
man, I have a little bit of
Because I don't know, like each and every one of us, we all have a sickness.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
each
definitely.
one of
Bad.
us has like a fucking sickness where we're like, we got to have it.
Yeah.
I need to add it to my collection.
Yeah, but you know what the braking thing, and the Honda boys are going to get upset, is the last time we did Driven, I saw an EF there, a red one, is so clean. I was like, this thing is fucking sick. And then when we left the show, I saw the guy driving it, and he was probably early 50s at the intersection. And I was like, That is not cool, man. There's nothing cool. It's like, I was like, oh,
That's
okay,
the other side of it. You're like, man, shit, I can't be that guy.
I can. No, I'm not going to be that guy.
No.
I appreciate it, though. I do appreciate what he did, but it just, you don't look cool, man. It's over.
I've thought that about a few different builds now, and like, it's like, do I want to be that older guy in like a '94 Supra with like all this crazy, like, not like extreme body kit anymore? I've kind of
You got to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to go with the times, but have like the timeless look, not just that timeless feel.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, we did some wild shit. And now when I look at stuff, it's like I find I want to take it back. Like, damn. Make it look fresh again.
Yeah. Even my Datsun that I've bastardized, but I'm still like looking at that thing. I'm like, I just want to make it not 5,000 colors. I just want to make it one color and cut off some of that body stuff that I did, the wide body kit that I welded on with freaking flux core welding.
How about the museum piece now, man? You gotta keep that one.
It never ends. Like, no matter what, like, you'll always look at whatever car and you'll be like, man, I want to change this or that, and it just never ever ends.
Yeah.
Like, you'll find yourself getting to the point where, okay, this one's done, and then you'll move on to something else, and you'll come back. Oh, I want to change that now.
Yeah.
I don't think
Something
you ever
changes.
finish them before you move on.
No, and you need to move on before you ever finish them, because they never finish.
No, I don't.
Never.
They never ever do.
Yeah,
A tad bit, but like not completely where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, you take it to like 90%. You're like, okay, I'm done. You move on.
And so for building cars and all of that, like doing performance stuff, like how did Racing Greed happen? Like what was that?
Okay, so how Racing Greed started was originally it started back in 2002. I wasn't involved in the business then.
Oh, okay.
And probably around 2007 or 8, I had gone and moved to the East Coast. And the 94 Supra was my dream car. Like when I was in high school, I was reading Turbo magazines. You know, you close it up, there was an HKS or Gretty ad in the back, and I was like, holy shit. One day when I have money, I'm buying this car. So I bought it. And from buying it, I ended up at some shop, I can't remember the guy's name, and he was just way in over his head.
That's all custom shops.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do that.
Like,
No problem.
it came to RG with just like not in pieces, but like he dropped it off, didn't want to see anybody, gave all the boxes, gave all the parts. At that time, I had got rid of the stock turbo kit, put an HKS twin turbo kit in. That was like kind of nostalgic at that time too. And yeah, and it didn't help that I lived on the East Coast. So it was like one of those, he kind of backburnered me. And then finally I was like, you know what? Somebody recommended RG. And so I dropped it off there. And then that was kind of where it just kind of progressed. Car was finished pretty quick. And yeah, just somehow I ended up being a co-owner. It had nothing to do with the car.
I think it's cheaper to own the business than to pay the business. Because we've had a couple of customers that are like, man, you guys should just like let me buy into this place so I could save some money. You're like, no.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes now looking at things, I'm like, oh, it's probably a good move.
Yeah, it's cheaper to own it than it is to pay it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of more a sense at the time I was going back and forth, and yeah, the car was here. And at that time I was also racing in the East Coast. I had the Porsche. I was like, oh, you know what? It was an offer that was open, and I took it. From there, that was all she wrote there. Shipped the car to the East Coast, the Supra.
Is there a dog here?
It sounded like it. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, what?
I saw a cat over there.
Yeah, we got cats.
Yeah. Unless the cat can bark like a dog.
Those are our shop
Cat's looking out
predators.
the windows.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's a dog passing. Sorry.
And, no worries. So then basically from there, I was racing the East Coast. I had the Porsche. I was dealing with a company called Schweitzer Performance.
And what kind of racing is this?
At that time, I was doing lapping. The local track. I lived outside. I lived in Ottawa, so outside of the track, where the track was about 45 minutes outside of Ottawa. And I would go there like on 2-3 times a week, just beating the shit out of this
Getting
Porsche.
that seat time. Wow.
Seat time, and then I started racing in a Civic.
Hey.
We were doing a thing that was kind of like the Le Mans, not not the French version, the lemons or
Yeah,
whatever.
lemons. Oh, I want to do
Originally-
that so bad.
Yeah, they called it Chump Car.
Yeah, we looked into that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So now they call it Champ Car.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we
changes
want to
your
do it, but
name.
I think the closest is Oregon.
Oh,
That's what we were
yeah.
originally going to do with our E36.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! I would jump in that.
So we had a whole team, but half our team
gotta
quit.
do it.
So yeah, we
Oh,
got to
100%.
resurrect it.
yeah, because it's like an endurance race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
Like the amount of seat time you can get is crazy for what it costs.
yeah, exactly. And then tire. You keep it within limit. There is a bit of there is loopholes in this.
Yeah.
Like, I probably shouldn't say it over this, but like a lot of people know it, especially with the Civics and the E30 BMWs, and it's just because of the motors. You can get the dual red cam in Japan. You may not be able to get it here, but it's still considered stock. So
Yeah. Ah,
there's
see?
workarounds.
Nice.
So yeah, I started doing that. Went all over the state, or not all over, but all over Ontario. A couple tracks in the U.S. and that was the racing part of the track. Did a couple tracks in Quebec. From there, where are we now, car-wise? Race car-wise, it was the Porsche and the Supra. Supra was here. I sent it to the East Coast. Yeah, I mentioned it, but we touched back on it before that dog started barking. Sent it out there to this event in Ottawa that was called Race the Runway.
Okay.
Launched a rod.
No.
But
No.
it's on YouTube. But
Oh,
the whole thing about it was it was a 1-2-1 shift that I had done like 3 months prior, before, actually in Vancouver. And
that's bad.
oh yeah, huge fireball, the coolest fucking picture, Like,
Oh, there was a picture.
oh
There's
yeah,
like a video.
there's a full video of it. Yeah, and so did that, and then the car sat basically till whatever that was, 2013 or something, till 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
The motor was done. Like we did the motor, but we just didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that car, and then what did I get after that? Oh, I had that M5, the F10.
yeah.
So that was I moved back to
F10
Vancouver.
M5, that's
yeah,
cool.
the F10 M5, methanol injections, full bolt-on turbos, fucking, that was that. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Actually, I did miss a car, the GTR.
Oh.
I was dealing with the company, like I had mentioned, Schweitzer Performance. This tequila's hitting me pretty quick. And I was building the GTR R35. This car went from 800 horsepower to 1,000. And then it was just, we'll do this, we'll do that. I tried to go to Texas 2K. I was like, I want to do this. And this is 2013, 2014, is when all this half-mile stuff was starting to come out. Mm-hmm. And you make a lot of friends in these things. It's a real cool event, or cool events. And this car just never came about. It was a fucking struggle.
Oh no.
So that's the car. I'll jump back to what it's at now after. But yeah, that car, basically that's how I decided wanted to go into half-mile stuff.
How much power was it at before? Like
Before I just shut it down and stopped working with Schweitzer was about 1,400, 1,500. I think the dyno was like 17 something. But like at the same time.
and the cat comes here.
Here we go.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It adds to the.
I think Brett came in here.
Oh, I see. If you guys are not watching, there's a cat in the studio right now.
Well, those are our new shop predators, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got it just overrun with mice in here. Apparently, it's a thing at Coquitlam,
Oh, it's all over.
and it got fucking crazy. So we got these guys, and now we're good again.
Yeah.
they're living their best life in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I was going to show some, but I probably shouldn't mention all this. It's from other business. So
So from 1,400 horsepower GTR or 1,500 horsepower GTR, where did you go to next?
after that, so the M5, which wasn't that big, it was doing about 870 or something wheel. We went down
That's
to
still
California.
fast. You just
oh no,
it's
yeah,
an 870.
but it's like
That
yeah,
sounds fast.
it's a good. It was a wicked. Like the motor wasn't built; it held together. I didn't drive like a jackass on the street. I was really kind of
conservative.
Just because I got my fix. It'd either be on the track or the drag strip.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to be an idiot on the road all the time and just blow the motor.
It's interesting how like you go from 1,500 horsepower all-wheel drive to like now I'm just a casual 800 wheel horsepower for my street car,
And it's like, oh, it's
like,
fine.
It's like that's like me driving a Honda Civic. you're downplaying it quite a bit. These are some pretty radical cars.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
fun.
nice.
In between, I drove a few other cars for friends, or
Yeah.
people can make events or something. And the M5, we did a road trip from Vancouver to Coalinga, California.
Okay.
Left here on a Wednesday night, got there, stayed in San Francisco, got there on a Friday evening, checked in, raced Saturday, Sunday, won the event for the
Nice.
M5 for the BMW
Cool.
class.
Yeah.
And then, it was sweet. I had like drag radials with on the stock rims, but I had them on a roof rack.
That's pretty sick.
And then drove home. Or actually, from there, we were celebrating. We're like, oh, let's go get shit canned in freaking Disneyland. We did the whole, like, we
You
won the
happen to
Super
have
Bowl
a
and
photo
shit.
of that?
Of the
M5 with the tires on the roof rack and all that?
Definitely.
that's
Here, I'll
Could
pull it
you
up.
send us that so we could just throw
Yeah,
it in
put
the
it
video?
in the video.
100%.
Yeah, dude.
I'm actually standing on the roof rack.
That's sick,
That's
dude.
amazing.
That's sick.
Drove home. Car is still in one piece, held
Yeah.
together, and then decided, okay, you know what? I like this half mile stuff.
Okay.
So then I went and built, or actually I bought an existing underground racing build, an R8
Oh, wow.
GT.
So it already had the twin turbos.
It was already an X2 package.
Okay,
which
what's that?
X2 package, from my recollection, is about 2,500 wheel.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Is this the one that sent the intake to the moon?
Yeah, but I had upgraded it. It came to me like I didn't modify it. It came to me modified, so I was like, in my opinion, I had never driven the car. It was a friend of mine's like, oh, I'm going to sell mine, and you want it? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's figure something out here. Let's get this car. I want to start.
500 horsepower.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I want to say maybe 22, 23.
Yeah.
Not that
Like
it makes
there's
a
a
difference.
difference.
Yeah, not that it makes a difference. And this car at Head Race, it's called Qbert, the car. This car I'd raced at the Texas Invitational. What else did I race? Texas 2K. I think those are the only local races that they were doing then. Texas Invitational has stopped since. Texas 2K is still there. It's on right now, actually. And from there, I decided, hey, I want to upgrade this car. What's the next step?
From the 2,500 horsepower.
Yeah, so then I'm like, okay, there are bigger turbos is obviously the option. There was a couple things. They're like, you know what, just do the turbos, do a couple things. They're really good at selling you stuff.
Like UGR.
Yeah, UGR is really on point. I got to give it to them. Like, they got you. They have a cool racers program. Is what it is,
cool.
and like they help. They get things done quicker because you're basically holding it down and showing people what the cars
what
can
the
do.
car can do.
So basically, I think I got in the car the very first time and ended up doing. Oh, I should touch back on this. Is the M5 when I did the half mile events was, I think I won it with the BMW class at like 156 mile an hour. Or something, maybe 165, 100. Like I should have looked this up before I came here, but like I'm just winging it.
We just bring it around
This
here.
is a standard. Yeah, this is
Let
the
the
whole.
comments correct it.
Yeah, somebody's gonna fucking.
Someone's gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if I said 165, they're gonna be like, no, it's 156. It's probably gonna be the guy that was in second place.
Yeah,
Always do
he'll make
search up
sure.
because it's cool.
Yeah.
So I jumped in the car, and this was in Colorado, Colorado Springs at the Army base there. And I think my first hit was like 221.
Oh my
Holy.
god.
Yeah, and then Kevin, the co-owner of UGR, was like, "Hey, just when you go out, take it easy. We'll just get some data because we're up high altitude, so we need to see what this car is doing." And that was one of the things that I did with the car was went bigger turbo just to make it easier to spool, and that's the safest place for going that fast. And 221. I came, pulled in. He's like, "Did you forget some?" I'm like, "No." What was I? He's like, "You're supposed to let off at the top of fourth," and I'm like, "Oh shit, what did I do?" He's like, 221. I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
221 what miles per hour?
Mile per hour, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And from there, I think I ended up that day, the quickest was about 230 something.
That's amazing.
So I was like, "Oh yeah, this is fucking cool." This thing, fuck, you get on it, and it's air shifted dog box. So it's got the clutch there just to engage, get in, and just start kind of pulling in or lining up, and you just mat and hold on.
Just send it.
Oh, yeah, you literally send it, and you're just kind of holding on. You can feather it, but then you're just fucking with shit that kind of just the Motec doesn't like it sometimes.
Yep.
And so did the 230, won that event for. I don't think it was the fastest pass, but like for the class that I was in.
And how much power did it have at this time?
At that time, I'd probably say I think 2,500.
Oh, okay. With the upgraded turbos still?
Upgraded turbos then. And then basically it went back and we're like, "Okay, what do you want to do now?" You fucking sold me on this shit. So I went the billet block, bigger turbos again, fuel system upgrade of some sort. And I also changed because the the R8 GT and the new R8 Gen 2, the oil tank is in the center. So it had an intercooler upgrade. And there was all sorts of little things that basically I took all the Gen 2 stuff, put it on the Gen 1, and then just so I could have this separate intercooler, bigger intercooler, just more power. And I ended up with like a X3, which is 3,000 plus.
Wow.
And they actually have like a plus now.
Plus.
Oh, wow.
3,000 plus horsepower.
Yeah. And this thing is ballistic.
These numbers are nuts.
I got into it and I was like, okay. And it was the Colorado shift sector the following year. And yeah, I think like the first run I did was about just touched 230. And at that time I broke the half mile. At that day one, I broke the half mile world record for the R8.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't remember the original, but I think it was around 237, something like that, whatever it may have been. And I did 250.98
miles per hour.
Mile per hour. So I think that's like 404 kilometers.
Oh my God. In the half mile.
That's insane.
So I was like, "Oh, this is fucking fun. Let's fucking do this."
I just
keep getting worse.
Yeah. And like there's that video now, and I so with those cars you have to slip the clutch to get it all engaged, and you really have to like get on it and like take your time, and driving that thing 5 times a year isn't probably the best. I should have flew down and tested it because I leave it in the States. It logically doesn't make sense or logistically doesn't make sense. Yeah. You're paying more than you are for anything in the entire year. You're just shipping the cars.
Yeah.
And so it sat there with UGR. I probably should have gone and just learned to really get on it and figure it out. Did it again. And like I mentioned earlier that, you don't really feather it. You shouldn't. You just stay on it or get off.
Oh, okay.
So at that time, one of the things that I'd ask was like, "Hey, let's maybe add a bottle of nitrous." Like, yeah, it seems like a good idea.
3,000 is not enough.
I know.
Well, just at the top end, you wanted that little like freight train pull. For them being so competitive, they were cool with it. They're like, "Fuck,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's try it." But yeah, it didn't really work. The MA bolts that hold the intake cover on, which probably should have not been little M8s.
Yeah, why
Just
would they be
stretched.
Maybe get into some
Because-
L9s.
It was good for 3,000.
And yeah, it just bang, blew out the back window.
Oh,
and launched
You
it
got to
like
see the
60,
video.
50
It's
feet
so
in the air.
awesome.
Yeah, there's a video of that.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out.
You got to
Yeah.
put it in here because it's so crazy.
I actually have like the in car where it just blows out. And I'm just
Really?
like,
Oh,
wait.
I don't know.
So explain what blew out exactly? The intake?
the intake man. So it's
It's like a
double
billet
intake.
bolted one.
Yeah, and it's got a cover, just a flat cover, kind of like the R8 one, but it's
Yep.
covered
Yep.
and just stretched the bolts and boom, just blew out one.
He's like literally the only guy that actually blew the welds on the intake.
That is insane.
The nitro backfired. And it went, and then we're like, okay, what do we do? The car was fine. All the glass didn't go in the motor.
Yeah, just went
backwards.
up and back. Yeah.
And we tried to find. We actually had a guy that was like, take my R8 hatch.
Wow.
But we didn't, because I can't remember what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm playing with fire here now. Like, I've got the record. I'm content.
Call it a day.
Yeah, this was day one, like halfway through. So I was kind of like, fuck, I'm here. But you know what? Because he was like, oh, we can go faster. Let's go. I was like, you know what? I don't know.
Terrible
I'm kind of good at this. Yeah. They were good at that. They're cool to fun to hang out with. So they're like, oh, you know, tomorrow we're good. We can go out again if you like. I found a guy that can bring you a hatch and you can come in from Denver. Like, they had it all planned. But yeah, so from there, we did that. Just at that time, I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? You know, seeing this car once a year, twice a year at an event, because you couldn't use it at every half-mile event because the braking distance wasn't that long.
Oh, okay.
So it's a safety thing.
You'd have a parachute or something?
No, not on that one. I didn't.
Oh.
When you're at the Colorado Springs, like they launch, or the runway is meant for like B-52 bombers.
Oh,
and
so
stuff.
it's a
like
very long runway.
It's like 8-lane highway in width.
Yeah.
And like the length of it was, I don't even know. I'd have to look it up, but it was impossible to even get to the end of it. Like,
That's cool.
even if you lost your brakes,
You would be fine.
like you're
Coast
going
those
and it
up.
has a little ridge at the end. So like if you got over that, like you would have to be going like ridiculously fast. Like, on the throttle, basically. Like your throttle cable's stuck if you're still going. Like,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of little barriers they've set up. But yeah, so Colorado Springs stopped. I think I did. Actually, I don't know. Maybe done something else there with that car. Texas 2K, I couldn't make it. My children were born
Oh, nice.
in March. Yeah, they
That's
just had
awesome.
their birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
this past March? How many years ago was this?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but sorry, yeah, it's fucking
It's fine.
yeah, they were born March 13th, and Texas
Okay.
2K falls this week, you know, like it started Tuesday, so the 12th
March.
and till the 17th or whatever it is. And I hired a driver, or didn't hire a driver, they recommended a driver. Car got kind of banged up, crosswinds,
Oh,
going
no.
like 220-ish.
By this driver that you hired? Or
Yeah, but that they had. And so, yeah, that kind of was like, oh shit. So I was in the process of rebuilding the car. Now the car, I'm in the process of selling the car, which is fine. It's intact, it's fine. It wasn't that bad. Just trying to find original R8 GT parts was a mess.
Oh, you're trying to convert it back to stock?
No, just because the you know, I hit the wing and like the things that were damaged.
Yeah, the body.
During Texas 2K was stuff that I didn't want to throw like some janky parts on. I wanted to still keep it genuinely Audi parts.
Audi, yep.
And like a fucking spoiler is like 15 grand.
Yeah,
Wow.
I bet.
And it was like Audi gave the parts price and it was like 120 grand. And we're like, what the
Oh my God.
fuck? Like this is stupid.
I
You
can
know,
buy another one of these.
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
You
how
can,
it goes.
I could generally buy an R8
Literally.
GT and just swap the parts
Yeah.
and paint it. So I was like, no, fuck that. Took my time, found the parts for not even a quarter of that. And that was that. But in the meantime, I had bought the General Lee, a Calvo Viper.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that there. That's why I keep looking down at it. 'Cause I'm like, how am I supposed to fucking bring this car in?
Yeah, if you're not
That was
watching,
just for you.
yeah, there's a Viper on the table right now. So it's a Gen 5.
Gen 5 14 TA, originally owned by Antonio Calvo, the Calvo Motorsports owner. I had seen this car at Texas 2K in like 2014 and it was like, wow, this is a fucking cool car. And it sounds stupid to say, but like I was never a Vec guy or a Viper guy. Or
Really?
whatever, but like, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd seen it and I was like, fuck, I walked over them and I was like, wow, this car is cool. General Lee, you know, I was a Dukes of
Pretty
Hazzard
cool.
kid.
Yeah.
Another thing that besides Hot Wheels, you know, the only kind of show besides Knight Rider, you'd see somebody like drive a car quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, or actually I saw a post on Facebook and he's like, oh, I'm thinking of selling this. Fucking message him right away. I was like, hey, what do you want for this thing? What's the plan? and his, like, I couldn't say no. It was an offer I
good to
couldn't
refuse,
resist. Yeah,
yeah.
and like the offer I have, like, I'm not going to say it on camera. It was like,
But when he told me he bought it, it was like the most casual thing in the whole world. He's like, I may have bought this car.
just waiting for the okay.
Like, oh, really?
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so got that.
So just for people that do not know, Calvo Motorsports, they build amazing Vipers. Like, how many 2,500 horsepower is it?
25, 3,000. I think the biggest one that he's built, horsepower wise, was 3,400.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh!
Yeah, and it's
What?
very innovative person. Like, it's actually some of the stuff that he shoots a shit with. It's like, holy fuck, how'd you think of that? Like, that's great.
Before we dive more into that Viper, I can't even imagine. Like, only 1,000 horsepower to me is like, that's a lot. Like, that is way too much. And so 3,000 horsepower, like, I can't even comprehend it. Like, it's way out of my mind's comprehension. I'm like, how does that feel compared to 1,000 horsepower? That's
Every
a
other
stupid
Honda
question.
Civic is 1,000 horsepower now.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you need
so the
3,000
Prius is
horsepower.
1,000.
Yeah.
The Prius
Yeah.
is 1,000, and the Evo is
Yeah.
3,000.
So like, yeah. So what does 1,000 horsepower feel like compared to 3,000? Is it a noticeable jump to the seat of your pants, like your butt dyno?
Definitely.
Right,
Definitely.
really?
It is extreme. But usually it's you ever see that meme or that picture where it's a kid sitting on a wagon and he's got a slingshot and it's the horse in front of him and it's got all the rope and it's like turbo and the rope's called lag, like, or whatever, something like that. That's basically what it is. Like, that's the perfect example of the difference, because they're like, realistically, a lot of the cars that are that, like the big horsepower cars, are laggy. But when it fucking hits, it's like you're a Vin Diesel face on pre-workout. Like, you got it, Like, it hits like that.
That's insane. And so like, how does, like, do you notice a way you think from like start to finish? Like, do you have to look like 3 times further because of the distance you're covering is so quick? Like, how does that compute? Because I feel like flooring it, like me just going from like regular 500-600 horsepower to 3,000, like my brain might not be able to catch up with what is actually happening.
You get tunnel vision. Definitely tunnel vision. And I was actually thinking about this a couple days ago, because like I knew I was coming here and I was like, well, fuck, like, how am I going to do this? What are they going to ask me? And I was thinking about this, and because they're like automatic cars in a sense, they self-shift or air shifted, it's a bit easier. When you're drag racing and you're manually shifting and you're flat foot shifting and you're doing all these things, you're a little bit more consumed mentally. When it comes to the big horsepower cars and you're going straight, besides trying to keep it straight and just kind of dancing the steering wheel a bit, you're in tunnel vision. You don't look down, really. Like, I've been like, oh, like, I got a shift light I got just added in the Viper
not
recently. I was
looking.
like, and I got 3 speeds, and I'm like, okay, should I shift up? And I'm like short shifting the whole entire way, because mentally you're good. That thing's flashing red in your face.
Yeah.
Even though the light's like at a light yellow, you're short shifting. I think the first time I actually did that was about 2. Boy, actually, no, I should touch back. Like, I didn't even break 200 mile an hour the first time I drove the Viper. I was pussyfooting it. Like, I just didn't expect it. Rear wheel drive. We had converted the car to a turbo 400.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Why?
It was kind of not a purpose-built car. It was because we could still street it, but at the same time, we wanted to drag race it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was half-mile drag race car, change the diff, and we're good. Keep it simple. As ridiculous as that sounds. And he had gone through a lot of sequential PPG gearboxes, and they were shredding gears. I genuinely wanted the Viper with a PPG sequential gearbox.
Is it more violent or what?
It's just fucking fun, like,
Yeah, the sequential.
yeah, just
Bang, bang.
yeah, it's just a fun driving car.
Yeah.
right? But he was like, it was part of the kind of the deal. Like, oh, I want to do a turbo 400. And I was like, okay, well, took my rubber arm and twisted it fucking every which way. And I was like, okay, for sure. So yeah, got that going. And the feeling of it is just, you're just pushing up, shifting.
So you do get to shift with your hands.
Yeah, you're just pushing up from first, second, right? But yeah, no, it was fucking cool. But yeah, it's complete tunnel vision.
That's insane.
Complete tunnel vision. You don't pay attention to anything. I've gone in there sometimes, like, because you have to line up and get ready,
stage
do
and
stuff.
all that.
Yeah, exactly, the staging and stuff, and then put on the radio or something.
Like, oh, I'm about to drive a 3,000 horsepower Viper.
This should be fun. I've actually never ran that Viper full tilt.
So there's like, how does it work? I'm guessing, do you have to bring out the computer or is there just a switch to switch from 1,000 to
You gotta get the
2,000?
laptop and the passenger
like
seat.
the Motec, and like,
That's so cool.
for UGR, John Reed out of Oregon tunes for them, and then Calvo has an engineering, his call is basically it's Colin, one of his friends that tunes, and Calvo himself. For any of the stuff that we do, it's the same thing. It's Sean from RG that does it all, and yeah, you need that laptop. Those
knobs,
yeah, the
knobs
things,
don't
the
work.
map
you can't trust them.
Don't need them. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So this thing
Things
is
always
actually streetable.
Yeah, it's streetable.
I mean,
Turn down to what?
We'll have it here in a couple months.
Where do you got to turn it down to be able to drive it on the street? Like, how far can you actually turn it down
I think
before it doesn't run?
Basically, it's just on the wastegates, right? And the wastegates, I think, last time we checked was at about 14 or 1,500 wheel.
That's still a lot of fun.
that's a lot. So like, how much have you had it up to?
I think as much as I've ran is about 2,200. And it's capable, the maxed out on the dyno before the last motor refresh was 2498 or something ridiculous like that.
To the wheels.
That's insane. I'm guessing it's not the stock Viper block.
No.
It is.
It is?
Yeah, it's not a build.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
That is savage.
At that time, it was like diamond pistons or something they're calling it, and some other stuff, like just his packages that he has. That car being his old personal car, it has like this nostalgic feeling to him, so he puts a lot more love into that car. The car is actually apart right now for discrete roll cage, just for safety issues. He was in a race, the last previous Indianapolis shift sector, excuse me, and he'd wiped out.
I saw that video. That thing looked terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And the most fucked up thing about this was, so my car actually had an issue with the water box,
Okay.
and it imploded. I went out and like, there's square water boxes like we have the vet. The thing was like a bubble.
Oh god.
Basically, there's some issue going on, and it's sent boost back the wrong way.
Oh wow.
And yeah. So he was like, oh, you know what? Just take the green one out. And I was like, oh, it's a customer of his. And I was like, I don't want to take this thing out. Most of the time, I'd have been like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do this. But I looked at it and it had like all sorts of stuff in it that it was the same build as my car, but it was a bit more aggressive. And I was just like, hey, you know what? No, I'm still learning this fucking car. I'm not gonna jump somebody else. He takes it out, fucking rolls the thing like 10 times.
Oh my gosh.
Fucks up his thumb and his toe or scratch on his shin. Thankfully for the roll cage, saved his life.
That's crazy.
Like it fucking blew up.
It looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That car looked mangled
Yeah.
when it was done.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty awesome. Testament to safety equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was always a safety second type of guy. And after
figure
that,
it out later.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like, oh fuck, don't worry about it. We got it.
Oh, it's fine.
Seatbelts, I'll just hang on. But yeah, so that happened, and I was like, okay, well, fuck, I gotta get a proper cage. And now it literally went to the chassis shop Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So the next run, I think, will be Shift Sector Hondo. They have like a series. They do. Last year was 5 races. I think this year is 6. And they run it. You get points every race. I came in second last year for the ethanol class,
Nice.
but I only ran one race. It was basically the buy.
crazy.
The buy. That's all it was.
Wow.
I showed up once, did that shitty run with a fucking the
Blow up.
implosion.
Yeah.
And so it fucking worked. Came in second place, and I was like, holy fuck. And then he sent Jason from Shift Sector, and the Shift Sector is the only half-mile event now, or running event, and they had sent me the little plaque thing, and I was like,
That's cool.
it's definitely cool. And I was
But
like, this
still.
and then you get like a big check of like the jumbo check. And it was
Do you get the big
1,000
check?
bucks. Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I've been chasing
so-
that big check my whole life.
Exactly.
I have not gotten a big check for anything.
Exactly, and I was like, "Yo, just keep the fucking plaque. Send me the big check,
want
even if
a
it says
big check,
$500."
Yeah,
I don't
we've
care.
won so much shit, and not
Yeah,
one
put it
time have I
somewhere.
ever got the big check, man.
Yeah.
I'm still chasing it.
So, Jason, if you hear this, send me the fucking check.
I'm gonna need that check.
That's
I actually
pretty
asked for it, and he's like, "Oh, it's in the back of the van. I got to dig it out." And I was like, "Well, I want to see you at the event, and if I have to ship it myself or carry it onto the fucking plane,
Yeah.
I would
would,
totally
yo,
pack
that'd
that
be
big check
amazing.
on the plane.
get an extra
awesome.
seat just for the
Yeah,
check."
just for the check, the $400 seat
Yeah.
or the $500 check.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's where it's gone. The one thing I was thinking about was what is too much horsepower for racing and for the street. Comfortably, what do you think?
Me on the street, I think 600 is enough.
600?
I would say 700.
Is that for driving? How about you, Rob?
Yeah.
I would have to imagine that somewhere in the neighborhood of 700 would probably really,
ideal.
really
I think if
fine.
you're a car
But
guy,
I think,
700. Most of our customers, I'm like 500 is enough for you.
I think it kind of depends on the car and what kind of like electronics packages and shit you got in there as
What
well.
your suspension
Like
is
if you got
like.
some old
traction.
classic that's just raw as fuck.
Yeah, you got a 67
That's gonna be
Chevelle,
a lot.
600 is enough for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. When it comes to those things, it's like, that's all driver mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, modern cars, you can do like 758 and it's good.
Yeah, I got to imagine like that F10 that you had probably felt pretty unreal with like 800 plus.
Yeah. And it was actually a good power
probably
bank.
reasonable, like drivable.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
my daily.
Yeah.
And then I would just turn on the methanol, and then if I wanted to boost it, and that was a car that I actually had the little switch.
Yeah, the knob, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would go, and that worked perfect. I think that range on a driver's end was perfect. Mm-hmm. On a modification range, I would think 1,000 is a max with no headaches.
How
Yeah.
easy is it to make 1,000 horsepower? How many
Depends
thousand
on the
horsepower cars do you have come across your dyno?
On average,
Because based on the internet,
based on the
me
internet,
getting
there's fucking one every
roasted
day.
by
Yes.
fucking the Honda boys, 1,000 horsepower Honda is like the most common thing in the world.
Oh yeah, it's more
It's
common than a
easy. You
Tesla.
just hit it. Yeah, you just hit eBay, 1,000 horsepower. It's like 3-4 grand, and you're all set. So how many 1,000 horsepower wheel horsepower cars come across there?
1,000 wheel horsepower cars, I would say maybe one every 6 months. The customers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe one every 3 months, depending
That's
on
crazy.
when and where, or when the car's there and where it's coming from.
And how many 700 horsepower cars? I feel like the distance between 700 and 1,000
Once
is
a week.
pretty
It's
big.
big, yeah.
it's
So
big.
once.
I think 700 is like the top end of most people. The 1,000
Yeah.
seems like the gap is huge.
Yeah, like if you're doing an R35 that's modded and the owner wants to go fast for drag racing reasons or personal just cruising around, once a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But like, I think a lot of people don't touch 1,000 wheel because they understand at that point you're asking for it. You know? On a stock motor, a GTR won't go that fast or it won't handle it, the motor.
How fast can it take a stock motor?
I think it's 650 wheel torque. It's kind of close to the Mesker.
Okay,
motor
like
for
full
wheel
bolt-on
torque.
stuff?
Yeah, full
Okay.
bolt-on, turbos and everything. If you can flat torque it and adjust the tune, you can get obviously the high end of the wheel horsepower and just flat all
Yeah.
the way across. And that's ideal, but it takes so long for for the tuning of that. But yeah, no, I would say probably once every 3 or 4 months max.
That's way less than I thought it would
The
be.
amount of 1,000 horsepower, like actual 1,000 horsepower cars, where I would say on my dyno, if you had a dyno and you're a dyno, where it would average out and it wouldn't hit like 1150 on yours and like 990 on mine. Yeah, maybe once a year.
And
The actual average is
do you
1,000.
see a lot of people saying, yeah, my car is making 1,000 and they just get disappointed? Like, what's the expectation versus reality? Is it pretty common for people to be disappointed?
Always.
Always.
Everyone's never happy.
Yeah.
Some people expect it and they're great, but majority of the time they're just like, okay, I think after I read everything on the forms and all
This should
these
make this.
modifications,
And
yeah,
then
this
it's
should
like,
make this much.
Here comes the kick in the nuts.
You made, yeah, you didn't come close to that number. If we're doing brake horsepower, not even right, like we're close.
And so what is, because I'm sure people are like, oh, you can push it a little bit more. So where is does the line lie with how far you can take it? Because some people they're like, nah, you can squeeze more out of this.
Just add more boost.
Send it, yeah. Just
One
put
more PSI. One more PSI.
Just
Yeah.
one more.
Realistically, we won't.
Yeah.
At the shop, we won't do it. If it's my own personal stuff, yeah, I'll try. I'll try because
It's your stuff.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Most
For
of the time,
scientific reasons.
yeah, we're testing here. I have an Audi RS6 right now, and we're talking to Unitronic. They're running the tune on it, and I'm not like, I think it pushes about 808 wheel
Nice.
horsepower. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Like, what else can we do here? The thing weighs 5,000 pounds, and I want to try to get it past this 10.4 quarter mile that I've done. He's like, oh, you know, we can go up 1 more PSI. Or 2 PSI. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm okay with that. But he was like, I'll do it, but we don't have a spare motor. You know, and you're going to be down. And
We
trying to
have
build
one.
it.
We have an Oh yes, we do have an RS6.
We just so happen to have
slash
We have a spare
Urus motor.
out of a
Oh,
Urus.
fuck. Here we go. This might be part 1 of 3 parts. This podcast.
Just a couple
Touch it
more
back every few
PSI.
What could go
I'm
wrong?
interested what happened too. Let's do this.
Yeah. Like, what's
For
going on?
scientific purposes.
Is
Yeah.
40 PSI enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty awesome.
No, I mean, you must get people coming in all the time, you know, expecting a lot and trying to convince you that's going to be fine. And you're probably just like, you know what? That's not a good idea. We're just going to say no to that because that's silly. And
Right when you said that, there was a customer that came in about a month ago. And I don't know what they call it with the Japanese, like, planes, you know, in the World War II with the big shark, like the shark bite.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
They have a
I
name for
forgot
it,
what they call
like,
them.
Yeah. He came in
Like
there with
Spitfires.
No,
not the plane is a Spitfire, I think, but the actual like shark decal.
Yeah, decals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a blue Civic?
No, it was like an Altima or something. Altima or some sort of shit.
There's a
So
blue,
he
seen that one in our
blue
neighborhood.
Civic in our neighborhood ripping around with the big
came
shark
in
mouth
and
on
wanted
it.
a nitrous kit install with it
Okay.
too.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of slow, so we're like, let's check it out and see what this thing does. But like, make sure that we like lay it out to him. Like, we don't know if this motor's gonna fucking do this or not. You know, like, you want to add nitrous, take it for a cruise. We'll come back and tune it another time. He came back about 2 weeks later. It actually fucking worked. Like, held together.
Okay.
He tried to do some modifications in that like 3-week window that we fixed, so it didn't blow up, thankfully. And then we expected it to blow up. But yeah, it worked. But yeah, he came in and he was just. We wanted to say no. I would have said no. I came into the shop already and I saw the car there and I was like,
What is this doing here?
"Fuck is this?" Yeah, and I see the nitrous kit, the NX6 Express bottle sitting there. I'm like, oh god,
It's gonna be a disaster.
I mean, it's
like,
kind of
things are slow,
intriguing.
but come on, you know. But it was fun. It was he had all sorts of stuff like a mermaid. He got rid of the Nissan emblem in the front and cut it out and put like a little mermaid there. Like he was all about the custom work.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Half a cup of vodka and a cup holder. Like,
Yeah.
How much power did it make?
I think it made like $1.70 or something. He was content. He was happy.
Okay.
You know, you got to give it to the enthusiasts sometimes. Like,
Hey, man, you need those guys to try it. We started out like that.
Yeah.
Of course.
yeah,
I got humbled by the dynos so many times.
yeah, they're heartbreakers.
Yeah. Because you add up all the things like this is for 15, this is 20, this is 30, this is supposed to be 50. I should have 525. And it's like, no, you have 226.
Yeah,
Son of a
exactly.
bitch.
That 20% gain that K&N filter is supposed to get you, it's not even 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you seen a lot of cars blow up on the dyno or no?
There's some spin bearings once in a while. Subarus are really known for it.
Ah, yes.
Too much oil or too little,
Yep.
right? It doesn't matter. It's fucking one. It's double-edged sword for that car. What else? Never anything really blow up, like where it's like, holy shit, that was...
Nothing
Should've filmed
Instagram
it.
worthy.
Yeah. Years ago, one of our old managers, he had a 240 S13,
Yes.
and he had a Rock Auto flywheel explode.
No. I didn't even know a flywheel could explode.
I saw one that your buddy had one go in the Mustang.
Yeah.
It
I just
It
thought that
like
was...
ripped a hole through the
Yeah,
floor
on that
and the
night.
dash.
Yeah, it shredded the car.
Oh, no.
The trans came down so hard in the center, bent those steel plates, like the
Yeah.
diamond plate, you know, they step on, bent that where,
Oh, shit.
yeah, it was disaster. But it shredded the car like it was a shrapnel and a fucking IED or whatever. Like, it was bad.
Was it shot fine?
Yeah, I think
Pieces
like
just flew everywhere.
things flew everywhere. At that time, my Supra was there, and it just missed. It just got missed by like 6 inches by like a chunk of flywheel. That car was a write-off, clearly, right?
Yeah.
A big piece of metal.
But I think that's the worst catastrophe. Besides, like the random drift guy coming in. Oh, I worked on my car and it's ready. You know, and it's like, okay, if it's not ready, what are we gonna do? And like a fuel line burst because he had like a makeshift union or something. Things like that. Just ran like you catch it
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see it, but you're like, holy shit, you know, like what the fuck are you
Fuel
thinking?
everywhere.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah. And so, like, what... I don't know if you know this, but, like, what cars or car can you make the most horsepower out of? What's, like, the most common thing that you've seen that's, like, stock, mostly stock, but it can make more power just with the tune?
Tune wise, just on a car, like excuse me, it's I don't know, I'd have to really think of that one. I wish you asked me this.
Yeah, because a lot of
Email me
manufacturers,
that
I feel
one.
like some manufacturers, like, are very conservative with how they, I guess, the final product or how they send out the cars. Like, they still leave you to be able to add something. Like, they leave some wiggle room in there on the top end.
A lot of
Or
the German
something.
cars come kind of overrated.
Okay. Overrated.
Oh, sorry, underrated.
Okay.
So they're on the dyno just with good fuel. They're at least 20, 30 horsepower, 20, 30 wheel
Oh my gosh.
higher than like what they've
Oh
advertised.
my gosh.
The
We already
M5
went
was like
through
that.
this. The BMWs, downpipes
Yeah.
in the tune, you get like 200
Oh, you're
extra
fucking
horsepower.
fine.
insane.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
They're just
so
quick
crazy.
crazy. You know, like that's
Yeah.
quick and cheap. To go fast on a drag, to go fast on a drag strip, I would recommend a Gen 2 Mustang.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just heard this literally yesterday too.
yeah.
Gen 2 Mustang.
Like I was watching something
Yeah,
else.
the
where the
Coyote
guys-
motor with a turbo kit, fuel system.
Okay, so Gen like Coyote Gen.
Coyote
okay.
Gen 2, not the.
I think-
Okay.
Yeah, I should have said which Gen 2, not the Fox
Oh
body.
my god.
Oh, this
You're
is
thinking
already
about
on
what?
Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like this guy was saying that it's the cheapest car to run 9s or 8s.
8s or 9s, yeah.
8s or 9s. It's the cheapest car. You can get a Gen 2 Mustang, and for like 25K, you can get into the 8s.
That's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Savage.
That's really reasonable for
I
that.
did not know that about coyotes. What?
Yeah, a guy that I know, he got one for his son, and like basically got it for himself to modify it for his son to drive. And I think it's a Helion turbo kit with fuel system, and yeah, I don't know what he's into it for. I would say with the car he was into it for 70, and yeah, it was like an easy 8-second car.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, you throw a little bit in extra for the welds or whatever wheels you're running and tire, but yeah, no shit.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would have never thought that coyotes could make that much just from
It's a
basic.
transmission.
That's cool. It can hold it.
That transmission holds it. Yeah,
That's cool.
I don't know what. It's
Yeah, what
definitely
is
not
it?
a ZF, but like I don't know what the transmission's code is. But
Okay.
that's the one. The Gen 2 specifically has it. It's like an 8-speed or 7-speed freaking automatic.
That's crazy because 10 years ago to get into the 8s would cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
Still costs you a fortune.
Yeah, it still costs you
Yeah,
a
it's
fortune.
still-
But I mean,
But not with the Gen 2 Mustang.
no.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. And so, like, have you guys messed with what is the highest horsepower? I don't know, maybe we've talked about it previous. What's the highest horsepower that you guys have messed with, like car wise?
Nothing like this.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like Jatty's in a whole different universe. But like in our little world, I think the Evil Evo is probably up there at the highest. Outside
And
of
then
that,
supercars where it's like 5, 6, nothing crazy as that.
we've done.
I've never got into the horsepower game because it's just like, it's numbers and you're just chasing it all the time. I'm sorry, but it seems like a crack addiction. So I just kind of stayed
it's
away.
Remember that
I
movie
don't
New
think you
Jack
ever
City?
get where
I'm
you're
pooping.
trying to go. Like it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. So drag racing for me is never, and then half mile is a whole different game. And it's like the numbers that I hear just make me want to go the other way.
Yeah, like I'm like I still can't comprehend it because it's just mind blowing. And so like, how do you go from that? I still don't know how you can go from a 3,000 horsepower car to like a Camry or something like a
Well, I
regular
drove here
car.
in a Volkswagen Touareg.
Must feel like you're in slow motion. Just
Yeah,
like,
like,
Yeah, it works. Drive
Yeah,
that
but
thing
I'm
on
curious.
rails.
Does that Touareg have a tune on it?
Nope.
Aw.
Some stuff is better off
for
left
sure he's be
untouched.
like, yeah, well, you know.
Is it a VR6 or a V10 TDI?
It's a V8. I had the V10 TDI before.
I heard those were amazing.
I want
Oh,
to
yeah,
drive one of those so bad.
Yeah.
You know what? Genuinely, it's no different.
Really?
I have the V8. Just it was a diesel.
Because the last one I saw a Top Gear video that it pulled an airplane or something crazy.
Oh, yeah,
like a
but-
747.
Yeah, and I kind of question that because it's like you don't really. They're all just rated for the same rating. It's not like the V10 is rated for any higher because it's all in the frame, right?
Oh yeah,
Strength,
that's
right?
true.
yeah, but I think you could get some obscene amount of torque out of the
Yeah, like crazy
diesel.
torque.
Yeah. Well, when I had it, we had it on the dyno. I can't remember what it is. I'm sure somebody will comment on it and look back on our Instagram or something. It's there.
Yeah.
And it was straight up. Whatever the numbers were on Top Gear or freaking
Wherever,
Motor
yeah.
Trend or whatever it was were legit.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, it was there. But
Is it reliable? Like that V10 motor, the TDI?
yeah, it was good until the turbo seals went. For that, you got to drop the motor.
Everything to do with kayak.
Like I'm honestly hoping the fucking starter stays for a little bit longer. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm just using the truck till I actually haven't decided what the fuck I want for a daily. The RS6 just doesn't really cut it. Doesn't make sense. Excuse me, it doesn't make sense.
Why? It's like the perfect daily driver.
station wagon, put some car seats.
Come
in
on,
that
what's
thing.
wrong
I
with
do.
you?
I have car seats in it. Got booster seats in it for the twins.
Yeah.
Twins in the front, twins in the back.
Yeah, buddy.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I've had the car for a few years and it's probably only got, well, actually, I looked at it yesterday. It was like 14,000 kilometers on it.
Oh, so you barely drive it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Like,
Yeah, so what would you like get? Like what do you want to get something high horsepower? Like no RSQ8? Come on.
no, it's the same fucking interior. They're all the same, you know?
They're all the
Like,
same.
I wouldn't buy an R8 again unless I was twin turboing it for the street. But again, they're the same freaking interior as the rest of them.
Yeah.
And so maybe something nostalgic if I was going to go that route
Oh,
for
okay.
daily.
Okay. Like what?
Old Land Rover or old Land Cruiser or something. Not
Land Rover.
Land
Stay away
Cruiser.
from British cars, man.
No,
No,
yeah,
don't listen to,
I listened
don't
to that
listen to
podcast. It
Tim.
was
Do
good.
not listen to Tim.
You will have problems
Get-
always.
Get a British car. They're
Get
awesome.
a G-Wagon and just call it a day.
Had one of those. I would probably get a newer one if I was going to burn money like that. I had an 02 and an 08, and they drove the same, which is
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
significance of the G-Wagon. You got like a 20-year spread where you're good.
Exactly
Yeah.
the same car.
parts, everything.
Yeah,
and the
Just get
prices
a
are the
G500
same.
or 55, you're all set.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If I was to get one, I wouldn't even bother with the big motor ones. I'd do a 550 or something.
Yeah, you just need the V8 and then you're good.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
I like the
really
shop
rickety.
van.
Shop van.
Shop vans work.
I
Yeah.
love the shop
Do you
vans.
have your? I guess this is your version of the shop van.
This
the
is my
Touareg.
version. Yeah. Touaregs are-
Everyone asks me like, "You got all this crazy shit. Why you drive the shop van?" I was like, "Cause I don't gotta slow down for nothing. I don't gotta worry about
Speed bumps,
anything.
don't even-
I go over those
You look
big
at your
rolling
phone
speed bumps. It's like,
Don't have to lock the door.
no, yeah, I don't lock the
You
doors.
can leave
nothing.
the key in the ignition
Yeah,
and everything.
nobody will steal it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I left mine on.
I love
It is
the
what
shop
it is.
van.
Right?
Oh, okay. And do you have any like dream cars? Like you're like, I would want to get one of those.
For a reg, like actually own, not
Yeah.
just drive.
Yeah.
GT2 RS.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
something that's
That is a.
That-
Any
car-
specific generation?
the 992 or the 991.
Yeah.
They don't have a 992. Do they have a new one? I don't think yet.
They're,
Right? Yeah.
they're supposed to come out with one.
Yeah.
aren't they?
Because the GT3 RS is 992. Right? So yeah, they should.
That just came
Yeah, they
out.
probably have
Yeah,
one
they will
soon.
be.
Yeah, I would want that.
Yeah.
That makes every sort of power and plan that I would want on a daily. That it comes from the factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's water. It's sprayed. It's all good. It's like, you know, you don't really have to mess with it.
Well, you're probably gonna mess with it.
Yeah. I said that about the RS6 too. And I was like, oh, when we bought it, I was like, oh, fuck, I'll get the extended warranty. It'll make me not get anything.
Sure.
Here we are, full bolt on.
You can't help it, man. When you look, you put it up on the lift and you start looking at it and you're like, you know,
Come
you
on.
can do a little
Here.
here, you can do a little,
That's
you
exactly
know.
where I started.
I'm just going to take the headers off and have them Cerakoted or something. And then you're
While
like,
I'm
oh,
in
well, you know
there.
you're in there.
Hey, they have a resonator delete kit.
What?
That
That's-
thing sounds a bit aggressive.
Yeah, that's, let's start with that.
Yeah, that's
Just
pretty.
add a couple more PSI boost.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
But it's fun addiction.
It truly is. I know we're pretty lucky that we all get to play in this game.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
For now.
We're not going in. I'm not going anywhere. Like it's cars. That's it. I don't spend any money anywhere else. So I'm good.
So
I prefer it.
it-
That's my kind of my passion.
You guys are doing stuff, a lot of stuff at Racing Grid, but do you guys do any, or are you guys hoping to do any like EV stuff now that the EV stuff, or even you, like, do you want to like test 3,000 horsepower EV quad motor car or something? I don't know what exists, what building.
Have you seen those fast RCs that are electric? They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like those little tiny ones.
Yep.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
stupid fast
Yeah,
for a little
so
thing.
insane.
So like that's what I picture those. I don't know what it's called. That Tesla, that red car that Elon
Roadster?
That's what I picture that thing as. Like I don't know. Like the first time I drove a Tesla was about 3 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I waited. 'Cause
Oh my
My
gosh.
partner has one. He's like, take it for a test drive. I'm like, no, I will not. I refuse because I'm not jumping in this wagon. Combustion.
Why? Oh, you're just like, gas.
Yeah. It's like, you know, everyone pictured like the Jetsons cars by our age
Yeah.
now. And it's like, yeah, that's
They
what they
kinda
kind of
sound
sound
like
like
that.
that. Yeah, exactly.
My wife's car, every time she backs out, it's like got that weird little robot sound.
She have a
Hate it.
Tesla?
No, she's got a Highlander EV,
Oh, okay.
like a hybrid. But it makes that weird little Jetson sound when she
Yeah.
backs out.
Yeah, random.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
We got that electric iX. Is it the X5?
Lexus?
The electric full EV.
Oh,
X5?
yeah, the big
My
one.
wife drives-
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And that actually gives you options. So
You
have,
can
like-
change the sound?
Yeah, you can have it aggressive, so it sounds like it starts up and on. Sometimes, you know, I'm kind of
Like, hey, what is that?
and it gets it has like I don't know the options names, but yeah, it has some options of the sounds. But yeah, EV wise, I don't know, not yet. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm racing
So
EV.
even racing, same thing. You don't want to like instant torque, all the no.
No. Wow. I just don't want to get into that.
Oh, okay.
I think I
not
just
yet.
don't want to touch
Okay.
it yet because it's either opening another can of worms that I can't afford, or I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Right now,
Yeah.
the only build I have going on is that GTR. I still have it. Full rear-wheel drive Pro Mod.
Oh,
So that's going to be the actual drag race car.
okay.
That's like full
much of the
Pro Mod
original-
tube chassis.
There's not much of the original GTR left, though, is there?
No.
Like the roof skin, maybe. I've seen
Roof skin,
pictures of it. So
pillars,
it's like there's
The
not.
doors. where the firewall would have been, like the frames on the exterior, whatever they would call that, where the A-pillars connect.
So it's a GTR.
Yeah, it's there. The VIN number's there.
Yeah.
It was originally planned to be a back half car, and then just fucking kept going at it. Here we are. Should be ready in about 4 or 5 months.
Wow. Okay.
On in a perfect world.
So another year.
So yeah, we'll probably talk about this in a year. It'll probably be online somewhere. And,
Awesome.
no, I should probably get it together in the next couple months to be genuine about it, but we'll see.
Sweet.
Time is the only thing that's scarce these days.
Time and material
Yeah,
is the
it's
tough
true.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got everything sitting there. Turbo kit, motor,
okay.
everything.
You're
I
in
just
good
gotta put it
shape.
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think the only thing that's going to take time is brake lines. And it sounds so ridiculous, but it's the tedious work of banding, planning, where's it going to go.
Yeah.
Satisfying for you or?
Fuck no.
No, it's a lot harder than it looks. It's a lot harder than it looks to make it look the part and
Yeah. 'cause
play
you
the
gotta-
part.
It
Yeah.
has to look nice. Yeah.
You still got to make the car serviceable, and I can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to go down to the back,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wire them out.
I love
put them in the
brake
front.
lines.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
get some weird sort of kick out of it.
I don't know.
16-year-old me would have just been like, down, back, we're done.
Send it. It's easy. No, that's what I did. That's what I do every time I do. I mean, I'm trying to change my ways, but if like wiring, I'm just like, yep, 90 degres here, there,
just-
straight connection,
Straight shot.
easy.
Yeah. Hit a speed bump, wear out the car, wear them out. Also, you're like, fuck. Why is my drive-by wire not working?
Disaster. But anything else from you guys? Any questions? We'll probably have you on again because I feel like there's still a lot to talk about.
There's going to be
I
a lot
had-
of follow-up questions to this one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah,
the
just
way it
because-
gets edited is gonna be like, oh, okay, well, we should probably fall back on this. See what he's doing here next year.
Yeah. So I only got through like half of the things that I have, but I'm like, oh shoot, we've been talking for like over an hour and almost an hour and a half now. So
That was me for 50 minutes. Sorry, guys. I listen to these podcasts. And I see you guys, and I was like,
No, people hear us talk every week and they're probably like, oh my gosh, I am done listening to you guys. And so it's always good to have a fresh set of eyes and words to talk about speed because I don't think, I've never experienced what even 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 horsepower feels like, but I would want to know what that feels like someday.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
no
So
kidding.
it's-
we'll grab a car and hit the streets of Mexico. Weather's getting good now.
I think you should just go from here to 3,000.
Yeah, to see what the difference is. Yeah. Because I think that my maximum is like 1,000, but that's it. Like I haven't gone above that. So
What was that?
I think it was a McLaren 720.
Those cars, the car you asked me when you said, oh, what's tune and exhaust, I think those are the cars that pull the most power.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's wild and it delivers it with no issues. Like it's until it blows up. Like if it has a stop.
So you have catastrophic failure.
I was waiting for you to finish and be like, till the feds are raw.
Yes. And so, what I want to say, but yeah, we'll have you on again at some point because I wanted to talk a little bit, even going to more about like safety and all of that stuff with like, because a lot of people take safety for granted, but dive into that. And there were some other questions that I had, but we'll talk about that later. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Thank you guys for watching this video, listening to this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, we're glad
for being on.
Yes,
Cheers.
we're glad you could come on and share some stories, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.